Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and we have gone over the many problems with Doctor Who Season 11, including it being political, preachy, pointless, no stakes, no tension, actors with no screen presence, meaningless monsters, little to no sci-fi at all. Hell, we haven't even spent any time in the TARDIS. This does not feel like Doctor Who, and it appears I know why. And I'm sure some of you do too. I had done a previous video, the Doctor Who fan service video, where I pointed out all the similarities Doctor Who Season 11 has with Star Trek Discovery Season 1. And there was one more that I wanted to save for a separate video. 9 episodes in, whether you're for Jodie or against Jodie, it's kind of beside the point. I think we can all agree the writing sucks. Star Trek Discovery's writer's room is famously filled with inexperienced and Gilmore Girl writers. And you can't just roll up and think you can write sci-fi just because you have been paid to be a writer. You know, there's not a lot of uber talented writers in Hollywood and in London and at the BBC. There's a lot of pretty good ones. All right. So if you're an uber talented writer, yes, you can write absolutely everything. But most writers are average to fair, and they need to do research. And sci-fi and genre and fantasy are things you really need to work at. Now, I could bake a cake. I can read the ingredients and go bake a cake, but I'm not going to make one like Buddy Velastro. And that's what Doctor Who needs. They need a Buddy Velastro cake. And what we're getting, whether it's dictated by the BBC or handpicked by Chris Chibnall, is inexperience. And well, I'll just show it to you right here. Let's take a look at our first writer, Mallory Blackman. She only co-wrote the episode Rosa with Chris Chibnall, and she is the only writer with science fiction experience. She has 9 credits on her IMDb, and they are Noughts and Crosses, which has yet to be produced, and it's based on her book about love and racism in a dystopian world. Jackanory Jr., Biker Grove, Whole New Heart, Pig Heart Boy, Whizwig, Gadget Man, and The Frighteners. Interesting, the one with science fiction experience only co-wrote an episode with Chris Chibnall, but according to her bio, Mallory Blackman, OBE, is a British writer who held the position of Children's Laureate from 2013 to 2015. She primarily writes literature and television drama for children and young adults. She has used science fiction to explore social and ethical issues. Next we have Tim Price, who just worked in the writer's room, and apparently it didn't work out, and he took off before production actually started, but he is credited with naming the pating. So I'm going to count him as a writer this season, and we're going to take a look at his credits. Now, he is also a playwright, but his filmography has 13 credits. How to Fake a War, of course, Doctor Who, Tourist Trap, Off the Page, PPE, The Smoke, Switch, EastEnders, Casualty, Doctors, Holby City, Secret Diary of a Call Girl, Why Priss, and The New Worst Witch. Now, he actually has some genre experience with The Worst Witch and Switch, which is about witches, but nothing else. But he's also known as a political playwright. But I also want to point out that EastEnders and Doctors credits, because that's going to be a familiar theme throughout the next couple writers. Our next contestant is Vinay Patel, who is the writer of The Demons of Punjab. And we take a look at his filmography on IMDb, and he has 5 writing credits, which besides Doctor Who, The Good Karma Hospital, Murdered by My Father, oh, that sounds fun, as This Thing On, which is a short, and No, You'd Better Watch Out, a short. No genre experience there, but I did go over and notice this. Vinay is also a political playwright, which is something he has in common with Tim Price. And here, this headline says, Vinay Patel, I think people having their power dismantled is good. Once a maker of corporate videos, now a BAFTA-winning writer, Patel is about to stage 2 new plays. One, a 3-hour historical epic. Wow, that sounds fun. The other about the changing nature of offensiveness. Ugh. Well, no real sci-fi experience, but plenty of political experience. Next, we have Pete McTeague, who wrote Kerblam, which may or may not have been a shot at Amazon, and then Amazon may or may not have accidentally leaked the episode. And the funniest thing about this is nobody cared. After the episode leaked, I went to 10 torrent sites just for research. The episode was nowhere to be found, which is hilarious. Pete has 15 writing credits: Avlu, Doctor Who, Wentworth, Glitch, The Dr. Blake Mysteries, Winners and Losers, Tatao, Block B Unter Arrest, Love Me, Nowhere Boys, Cell Block H, Neighbors, EastEnders, Tricky Business, and Crownies. 3 of these, Wentworth, Block B Unter Arrest, and Cell Block H, are all women prison dramas. Not that I'm personally against these things, they're not genre. And what's Avlu? Maybe Avlu's genre. Nope, a woman entering a prison trying to establish her own justice. These women are forced to give up their freedom, are struggling, and... Okay, never mind. Pete's got some stuff to work out. Pete, tell me about your mother. Next, we have Joy Wilkinson, writer of The Witchfinders, and her IMDb has 6 writers' credits, including Doctor Who. The others are Doctors, The Life and Adventures of Nick Nickleby, Land Girls, Holby City, and Casualty. Now, aside from Doctor Who, there is no genre there, but there is the Doctor. So that's 2 Doctors writers, and maybe they thought they could write Doctor Who because Doctor was in the title. And I'm only half kidding on this, but another similarity she has with 2 other writers is she is a political playwright. Yes, acting leader, women, power and politics, now NHB Modern Plays, Sweet Science of Bruising. Those are some of the plays she's written. Exciting. So 3 out of the last 4 writers are political playwrights. I find that very interesting. 1 more to go. The writer of It Takes You Away is Ed Heim, who has 2 writing credits, including Doctor Who. The only other writing credit is Skins, which is a fine show, but it is not genre or sci-fi. And we go check him out at the TARDIS Data Core, and it appears in 2007. He won a Prix Italia Award for Best Original Radio Drama for his play, The Incomplete Recorded Works of a Dead Body. He was also nominated for a BAFTA Craft Award in 2010 for his work on Skins. But he hasn't done a lot of work since. Maybe he's writing books or something. But again, not a ton of genre experience here. To sum this up, we have a couple of Doctors writers, a couple of EastEnders writers, 3 political playwrights, and 1 guy who's only wrote 1 script. So why has the BBC and Chris Chibnall put such an emphasis on politics over science fiction, fantasy, genre? Only you guys in the UK could truly answer that question. I think I know the answer, but I'd love to hear from you in the comments to why you think this is. Well, yes, we're living in hyper-political times. That's why we need escapism more than ever. And I can tell you, as an international viewer, nothing takes me out faster from a show than local politics. As a result of this writing, we've gotten lame villains, lame monsters. The only real villain we've gotten is Tim Shaw from the Stenza. He's called Trim Shaw or something like that, but the Doctor calls him Tim Shaw. In the second episode, The Ghost Monument, we had remnants, basically ribbons, evil ribbons that sounded like Voldemort. In the third episode, we had Krasko, who was a space racist for reasons. In the fourth episode, we had characters being apologists for the giant spiders who were killing people, but they were just misunderstood. And then, of course, in the fifth episode, the Sarunga Conundrum, we had the Bating baby thing that was eating everything in sight, killed thousands of people, and the Doctor let it go. It was just a big joke. In the Demons of Punjab, another misunderstood villain, the Thajarans. In Kerblam, we had delivery robots, which were misunderstood and reprogrammed. In the Witchfinders, we had something just like the Unquiet Dead, except it was mud that invaded the dead bodies of killed witches during the witch trials. And in It Takes You Away, we had a conscious pocket universe that just wanted a friend that turned out to be a frog, and a monster named Ribbons who was starting to get interesting, and then they killed him off. We also can't forget our list of idiot blokes. We had Carl in the first episode, who was the crane operator afraid of heights. We had Epzo in the Ghost Monument, who was just the epitome of a toxic male. We had, of course, Krasko, who was the space racist. And there was Robertson, and we all know who he was. In the Sarunga experiment, we had the pregnant man. We had Manish, and I don't think that name was an accident. We had Charlie in Kerblam, who wanted to kill people to get people jobs. In the Witchfinders, we had King James, who was a complete idiot. That being said, he was played extremely well by Alan Cummings. And we rounded off with Eric, the horrible dumbass father who boarded his blind daughter in a house so he could visit his dead wife in a pocket universe, leaving her days at a time. And the final thing that needs to be pointed out is Jodie Whittaker. She's a fine actor and everything, but she's got no real screen presence, no charisma whatsoever. Just think about like Matt Smith, Chris Eccleston, Peter Capaldi, David Tennant, all once every few episodes would give you that doctor look. That doctor look that I'm 900 years old. I'm 2,000 years old. You're playing with a god right now, and I'm just playing down to your level, and I'm being nice. But once in a while, he'll remind his companion or his opponent at any moment, and he'll give you that doctor look. Well, Jody has tried to give us a couple of those this season, and I'm sorry. It's just not working out. Sorry, Jody. Sorry, Chris. It's just not working out. There's no shortage of sci-fi and genre writers that are Doctor Who fans out there. I've said the same thing about Star Trek. I'll say the same thing about Doctor Who. 50 years this show's been around. It's made a lot of fans and a lot of talented writers. But this season has done more damage than anybody possibly could have imagined. And there's a lot of people laughing about this now. You know, again, I wanted to be won over. I did. But it didn't happen, and I don't think I will be, and Jodie Whittaker's legacy is ruined, especially if she's only going to be doing 2 seasons as the Doctor. Yeah, unless they come out with a phenomenal season in season 12, which will be split, and get a new showrunner and resurrect Terry Nation and Douglas Adams, I don't have much hope for this show. I think a lot of people are going to be out after this season 2, and I think a lot of people at this point are just hate watching. I don't know. I can't explain in the UK. But again, you're losing the international audience. That's a fact. Keep doing local British politics, one-sided local British politics in your show, and see what happens. So that's it for this one. If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. Our website is nerdrotic.com. We mostly do live television recaps, and our schedule is on that website. We also have a Twitter. It's at Nerdrotics. Follow us there. We also have a Facebook group. It's the Nerdrotic Podcast Facebook group. Please join us and continue the discussion. We also have a Discord. Link will be in the description. We also do 3 live streams a week. Monday and Wednesday are the Nerdrotic Nooner at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, and Friday Night Tights at 7 p.m. Pacific. Whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, whether you like this show or hate this show, I want you to have a really good day. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. For as little as $1 a day, you get exclusive content at patreon.com/nerdrotic, where we do Expanse commentaries and exclusive Nooners, and higher tiers, you can get stuff, and here's a look at it.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe.